Hi, this is Casey Lichtendahl, and welcome to this video on using R in RStudio to create a simple linear regression. We're going to start with a data set that I've constructed in Excel. So let's bring the data set over. Our data set is advertising and sales over 7 quarters. We've got our advertising here in column B and our sales in column C. And we're going to try to study the effect advertising has on sales. So starting with this workbook in Excel, I'm going to go ahead and save this as a file which we'll call add sales. And instead of saving this as an Excel workbook, we're going to save this as a CSV file, which is a comma separated values file, which is what R in RStudio is going to want in order to work with this data set in R. So we'll save this as a CSV file. We do want to keep that formatting, and we'll close this down and go ahead and save it again. Not sure why it asks us for that. We don't need to keep the format the second time around. We don't need to save the file a second time around. So now we've got that file saved in our working directory. Now we're going to go down and open up RStudio. So I pinned RStudio to the taskbar down here. There's just the bubble with the R in it. This is RStudio. It opens up, and we're going to start a new R scripting file. So we go to File, New File, R Script. So before we load the data set up, we're going to go ahead and save this file in that same folder where we saved our add sales CSV file, and we're going to call this add sales, but instead of it being a CSV file, we're going to save this as an R scripting file. We say save, and it saves it as an R scripting file. Next thing we're going to do is make a comment here, is we're going to set the working directory, and all this means is that we're going to tell RStudio where to go look for files when we read them into R. So I'm going to put some instructions here. We're going to go to the menu bar. We're going to select Session, Set Working Directory to Source File Location, the place where we've saved this file. So Session, Set Working Directory to Source File Location, and we've run some script down here in the console window, in the console pane, compiling this set working directory line. So now if we come down and we say, all right, let's create a data frame in R to store the add and sales data, we're going to read in the CSV file using the function read CSV. The name of the CSV file is addsales.csv, and we will go ahead and put our cursor here at the end of this line. We'll hit run. We compile that line, storing the contents of the CSV file, that data, into the data frame called addsales.df. It appears over here in the environment pane, and we can click here on the data frame, and we get a new tab appearing over here in the upper left pane that shows us the data from the CSV file. Okay, so that's all loaded up. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a linear model. So we want an add sales.lm, which just stands for linear model. We'll use the linear model, which is going to run our regression model on sales, which we will, so this is y on x, a regression of sales on, the tilde means on, advertising. And if we say data equals add sales.df, tell it the data frame, and as long as that data frame has these column names in it, which it does when we look over here, advertising and sales, then we can feel comfortable that we're going to run the right linear model. So we run that, and then let's take a look at a summary of add sales LM. So when we run the summary, we get a report down here in the lower left pane. When that summary function is compiled, what we see is that The estimate here, the advertising effect, is for every dollar of advertising, we get $1.42 additional in sales, and the t-stat is 3. And so we say, and the p-value is 2.8%. So we'd say that at the 5% significance level, this is a statistically significant variable. We'd want to keep this, for instance, in predicting sales. Advertising does look like it's a good predictor. Now let's go ahead and create a quick plot of this. So we're going to plot ad sales.df. We're going to put advertising on the x-axis and ad sales.df. We're going to put the sales on the y-axis, and let's give ourselves some nice labels. So we're going to call this advertising, and we're going to call this y-axis, the label on the y-axis, we're going to just say is sales. So we go ahead and take a look at that plot. We see that plot over here in the lower left pane, and maybe we want to overlay that regression line on top of these points, have them shoot through there. We just grab our linear model, put it into the AB line function, which will just add a line to a plot if it follows the plot call. And there's the line which fits best through those points in terms of minimizing the squared distances each point to the line. And that's it for this video on running a simple regression in R. Thank you.